Hello! I did not have a video this week, so I figured I'd put something out that I did last year as well. Sorry if you hear that fan, that's our heater fan, and it's so unbelievably loud. I can't turn it off. But anyway, I went to AGDQ recently, and I actually played in two tournaments. One I didn't do so well in, and the other I did quite well in. So the first tournament I played in was Cuso Grande, ran by Brosentia. Basically, Cuso is like a subgenre of gaming. In Japanese, it means crap, bad, poop, whatever. And then Grande, I guess, means big. So it's really bad games, and it's basically you go head to head with people in bad games. And I didn't qualify. I did not qualify. I was actually a little surprised, but I'll just show you this game we played. It's called Drelbs for the Commodore 64. There's no camera of me. They didn't have that set up for the qualifiers. But yeah, so basically what you see happening is in the middle of the screen is me moving around. I'm the round thing with 2 feet. And there's like a worm shooting some kind of projectile, and also this angry face dude. And basically you go through these gates to flip them, and you have to make squares. Or I guess it would be a rectangle. And sometimes that evil guy face shows up. And this is kind of like, it's honestly not a bad Commodore game. This is actually the first time I've ever played a Commodore 64 game. Yeah, you can see when you make a rectangle there, it like keeps it sealed. You can't move those gates anymore. So let me skip ahead a bit. Basically what you're trying to do is fill out the grid such that every possible rectangle is made, and there's no other possibility to make a rectangle. Actually, so what you just saw there is something special. This diamond spawns. They don't tell you anything about this game going in. You know nothing. So I didn't know what was going on. But this diamond spawns, I pick it up. And then over here, a portal spawns. Which apparently takes you to like Drelb prison or something. And so in this, you gotta free all the other Drelbs by touching them. There's also this guy who roams around and tries to shoot you, because I guess in prison that's what they do in Drelb world. But it's honestly not a bad game. Like, I was expecting much worse. It's definitely an obscure, weird game, but it felt more like arcadey, you know, like old school, get the high score arcade game. I did notice while playing, this guy alternates shooting vertically and horizontally every shot. And basically, if you clear the full prison, you move to level 2. And let me skip ahead here again. Sometimes the evil face pops up. I won't stay on this game too long, just because, spoiler, I didn't get out of the qualifier. I think there was like 80 people who signed up. It was quite a lot. Yeah, and here's me getting game over. If you touch the bad guys, you die, obviously. You do get 2 shots in the qualifier, though, so let me skip ahead again. And I think I actually would have qualified. Yeah, so you can see this layout I'm currently in on the right. There's literally no spot for a square. Like, maybe you think here on the right, but it has to be 4 gates. So, like, the edges can't make a gate. These are kind of one tier in. So now, like, these evil faces pop up, and I didn't know what I needed to do. I learned later that the evil faces pop up, and then in the order they appeared, the portal to the Drelb prison appears. Yeah, it's sad watching this back. I could have qualified if I knew more, but I was one of the first people to sign up. It's kind of a disadvantage, I guess. If you go really early, you don't get to watch as much gameplay. But I'm trying to, like, warp to the Drelb prison. This is level 2, by the way. There we go. And in level 2, there's 2 bad guys. which makes it much harder to follow that vertical horizontal progression because they're not really in sync. And this is really heartbreaking. I probably would have qualified had I just finished this off. But these guys, they were camping the last Drelbs, and I couldn't get in there. I was so frustrated. Like, no matter what, I was so scared. And then, yeah, I got shot. But up here in the top left is your score. I think it was the top 16 qualified, and I just didn't make it. Sad day, but Cuso Grande is very fun. I definitely want to try it again. Hopefully get out of the qualifiers. And actually, Drelbs is not a bad game. It's decent. It's just a type of gameplay that's before my time. My earliest console was the Super Nintendo, so Commodore is not my wheelhouse. Here's some nostalgia for you. Oh, yeah, look at that. Ah, put it right into my endorphins. I don't know. The startup sounds so good. I love it. I played in the PlayStation Mystery Tournament again this year. If you recall, I literally won the tournament last year, and the finals were held on stage as part of the marathon. They didn't do that this year. They probably honestly won't ever again. Maybe they will, but I feel like that was just a one-time thing, so I got really lucky to have won the year that they did that. But I had to try to defend my title, and I'll tell you how I did. Some of you may recognize the game on the screen currently. This is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's a fighting game by Capcom. So yeah, I was actually the #1 seed, which was pretty cool. So I had a bye in the first round, but in my first actual match, I played against somebody named Archie. He was very nice. And we rolled JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2D Fighter. I'd never seen it before in my life. And I believe he was familiar with the game because they told us, they don't tell you anything about these games, but they did mention, oh, there's a banned character, but we won't say which one so we don't give away the strategy. I chose, I don't even know, I may have just picked random. I may have picked Dio. I either picked Dio first or in the next round. And Archie picked Pet Shop. Just random stage, whatever. And let me see if I can show this for you. If you see that text in the corner, that's from my RetroTink 4K changing resolutions. Yep. Now let's see if you can guess who the banned character is. Pet Shop just literally flies. No, I don't think anybody else in this game, everybody else walks. Yeah, this bird, oh my god. You can just like zone like this, and it's crazy. And in the first, you do best of 3 in this, so it's like a fighting game, best of 3, but we did best of 3 of the best of 3s, you know what I mean? So in the initial best of 3, I got annihilated. It wasn't even close. Like, it was bad. I was like, I am literally about to lose. So thankfully, I had the foresight to change my character, and he stayed on Pet Shop as expected. And I didn't pick Pet Shop because I felt like if I tried to just copy, I don't know this character. So I literally picked random, and I got either Dio or Shadow Dio. I think it was, maybe it was Shadow Dio. But oh yeah, load times because we're on the PlayStation. Oh man. But yeah, Dio has this mechanic. I've learned when you play a fighting game and you don't know what you're doing, spam half circle forward and backward and button mash, and it's pretty decent. But you see Dio spawns this shadow. I can actually fight the bird from ranged, which was... I got lucky that I chose this. And yeah, I ended up winning. Extremely glad for that. And I believe he changed characters in the final match. There's one other character. I'm probably telling you wrong. Somebody who knows this game probably knows who's really strong. I was told that it was another strong character. But anyway, I did win, barely. Came back from down 0-1. I was so glad. And actually, my friend Madonna was there, and he captured this. This is the mystery tournament. It's very cool. They have like 20 of these PS2 setups with 2 controllers. But you can see, there's that bird. And I know it's on the right side of the screen. No, I'm not playing as the bird. Oh my god, I was stressed. But yeah, I did manage to win. And thank goodness. I barely got out of my first match. Okay, so I moved on to round 2, and I saw I was against somebody named PMC Trilogy. And I recognized that name, and it's because he got 4th place in the mystery tournament last year. So, man, my next match, I was against the 4th place from last year. Most of the seeding is just random. I think I may have been the only person with a seed, I don't know. Or I got the random 1 seed, but yeah. Anyway, I was very scared. I was like, I could very well lose this. But we played this game, foxkids.com Micromaniacs Racing. And lucky for me, I had a bit of an advantage here. So if you watched my N64 series, this may look familiar. This is... See it yet? Micro Machines. Remember the Micro Machines on the N64? It's literally this, but reskinned for some Fox Kids show. I don't know, Micromaniacs? I've never heard of it. But yeah, so I was pretty darn familiar with how this one was going to play. If you don't know, you could watch my Micro Machines video, but this is the mode where you just try to get so far ahead that the camera can't keep up. And if you do that enough, you get a point. But yeah, usually the tracks take place in like household areas. I guess it's supposed to be you, the kid, playing with little toys. I don't know. I think Micro Machines is like some Hot Wheels competitor. I'm not really sure, but I did win this one. I'm not sure if it was just I won the first 2 or if we went to a 3rd round. It was quite close. It wasn't like a massacre, but I did luck out being against a strong opponent that I got a game I was pretty familiar with. Also, PMC Trilogy, I believe he's beating every PS1 game, or at least a lot of them. I know he's big into the console challenge scene, so it was very cool to talk to him a bit there, and also we had a good match. Very nice guy, but I did move on. I was very happy. Alright, so I had moved on to round 3, and my opponent was the Rixer, who I actually didn't know before this has quite a big YouTube channel. So that was really cool, related to like PlayStation speedrunning content. But we got this game. It's Japanese exclusive Saber Marionette J Battle Sabers. I think it's loading. I don't know what happened. So it's a 2D fighting game. I'll be honest, I don't know who I picked. I don't even know if they have stats, but yeah. Okay, and they told us when we picked this game, they were just like, feet! And we were like, what does that mean? So, if you translate this text, it says like, big punch, big kick. So we were like, I don't know, let's just pick the same thing. We picked big punch and big kick. Oh, what a great loading screen. This feels weird being on the N64, like I'm not used to this loading thing. So we just have giant feet. I don't know if that changes your stats or what, but yeah, I was button mashing. This one's not great. I did learn this diagonal dive move, and it was pretty strong, but he's pretty good at games, and he definitely caught on after a while that I was spamming this, so he started like preempting it and blocking for it. I don't know what the CPU just did, so I kind of started like faking it, that I was going to do it. But yeah, I was just straight button mashing. I think we both kind of were. It also, I think it just shows that I've improved at fighting games. Like, I've never been somebody who plays these games, and I still don't, but just beating the CPU in all these N64 games has made me, like, a slightly competent fighting game player, you know? Like, if somebody was actually good at fighting games and, like, played a lot of them at a high level, yeah, I'd get obliterated, but, you know. I was winning, and everybody who was there is at least quite skilled, you know? There's no... Like, it's an event for speedrunners, so, like, everybody's at least pretty good at games in general. So, it felt good to win again. I don't know if this one went to the third round or if it was just the first 2 rounds, but it was very close. I do know that. I was, like, stressed the whole time. I wanted just an easy win, and it never happened. My matches were all so close. But I did win. Very good match with the Rixer. And, yeah, I moved on. Okay, so round 4, I was against Joester, who, if you recall from the on-stage event last year, he was the person actually spinning the physical wheel. 3 of the... Him, along with 2 commentators, didn't play last year. They did play this year. And Joester's quite skilled. This game just has a Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver demo built into it. But yeah, we were playing the Unholy War. Basically, you have these 2 teams with like 7 fighters on each. And like I said, we don't know anything. He didn't know this game. I definitely had never heard of it. So I don't know. We just pick somebody. And actually, this game's not bad. I think it's kind of a hidden gem. I don't think he was crazy about it, but it's like an arena fighter, kind of like, you know, Custom Robo or maybe Gotcha Force on the GameCube. I think people tell me Custom Robo is like Armored Core. But yeah, unfortunately, neither of us really knew anything about how to play. You run around and you beat up the bad guys, and I just got lit up, by the way. There was this, like, rhinoceros. The rhino's very slow. Yeah, he's got a homing missile, that's crazy. Yeah, you, like, get launched in the air. I don't know, it's kind of crazy. I feel like there's got to be some kind of combos you can do. And I think if you learn this game, it could be quite fun. It's definitely not on par with like Custom Robo or what do you call it, Armored Core, but... Oh wow, he just took like all my HP. But yeah, there's not much else to this game. You just fight with all 7 people, and if your first one whose team dies all the way loses. And it actually came down to like the final, I think he had 10 HP left, but I did lose. I lost to Joester, a very difficult opponent, and thankfully, though, the tournament is double elimination, so I wasn't out yet, but I was headed to the loser's bracket, which Yeah, sometimes this meter would pop up, and neither of us knew what was happening there, I think. I really don't know. It's kind of funny playing a game and you just know nothing about it at all. Yeah, I lost, and I moved into the losers bracket. Okay, thankfully we do have video footage of the rest of my matches. So I was against somebody named Sunshade. I'd never met them before. Nice person. We rolled this game Zero Divide, and I'm like, who do I play? I don't know anything. And I'm pretty sure I just picked the cat girl. Because why not? And yeah, this is not that good of a game. Basically, when you get into a game and you don't know anything, you should press every button on the controller to see if you can find some overpowered thing. I don't think I really did here. But yeah, my intuition fighting game, spam, half circle, and button mash, and you'll probably do something cool eventually. It's just not that good of a game. I don't know. It's so slow, and when you jump like 800 feet in the air. It's so wild. Like, why do you jump so much? And yeah, you can see there are ring outs. So this actually came down to the final round. Who won this first best of 3? He's like a kangaroo or something, it seems. And yeah, you stay on the ground for so long. Yeah, ring out. So yeah, I swapped to this big scorpion because I was like, I don't know, why not swap? We're playing on some like disco floor or something like that. I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, this game's not that good. There's some kind of like damage to your body parts component you can see here in the top. I don't know how that affects things. Yeah. And yeah, I do believe this came down to... Okay, I won the... I didn't have to go to a third round, so I won the first 2 of the best of 3. And I moved on to the top 8, which was very, very cool. Alright, so I was up against Yegog, my first top 8 match. Choro Q Marine. If you're very familiar with Choro Q, it's called Penny Racers in the US, and I played a Penny Racers on the N64. So I was like, dude, sweet, I'm gonna just crush this, because I know Penny Racers, but that word Marine is very, very important. It took us a while to figure out how to get into the game.
Just in case.
So yeah, we had to pick something. I don't know what any of this is. Oh, we pressed the wrong button.
Pick your bank.
And you gotta pick your bank. Neither of us know what that means.
There we go, there we go.
So you pick your boat. I'm player 1, by the way.
There's boats and submarines, so how is this gonna work?
And
Well, it's up to our competitor to find out.
we don't know what these stats say. We don't know what's good, what's bad. And it is racing, just not what you'd think. And thankfully for me, Yegog did not know what the accelerate button was to start. Let me turn this down. So I had quite an advantage, but this control's so odd. Like, everything's so stiff. You can use R2 and L2 to kind of drift. And neither of us noticed at first, but you can also go up and down, which makes sense because you're in the water. Like, you're basically flying through a fluid. Yeah, and I kept picking up shields, I think. I think this first race was, like, not close, mostly due to the fact that they didn't know you could just accelerate at the start. So I won the first round. And now we got drastically different boats. I mean, these things are massive. And again, we don't know what's good, what's bad at all. So I'm on the top screen. And I did get off to a good start, but oh man, these stupid gates, yeah, they would just troll me like that. Ah, I'm not very good at predicting those apparently. And I think my boat I picked had like a miserable turning stat. Yeah, hit the gate again. Like, I'm using the drift button here, and it still just does not turn well at all. Finally get under one of those gates. And I thought maybe I would start to take this, but man, I just crashed so much watching this back, like, completely through. Yep. Oh, I somehow snuck by that one. But yeah, I just never really caught up. Like, I think I did pass. Yeah, I was literally in first for a second. And immediately lost it. I couldn't turn well with this boat. Like, it's a weird game. And yeah, I just crashed too much. And yeah, couldn't win, so it went to the final. We picked another thing, very different looking boats. No idea what any of this is. I'm just going to mute this actually. And it turns out this is not a race at all. This is like a battle mode. And so like I say, when you play a game you don't know what anything is, press every button. I discovered the shoot button very quickly, but it does seem we both figured it out. And this is just jank. Like, you're trying to find each other in this huge arena. You turn like so slow, and it's just, I'm drifting, but I just can't turn around. And yeah, if the missiles hit nearby, you take damage. If you get like direct hit, you take a lot of damage. You don't take any damage from crashing, surprisingly. But you can see I started losing. I was getting a bit nervous. I was like, man, this really could be the end. I don't want to lose, you know. I liked winning last time. I'd really enjoy doing that again. And there's about there was a 300-second time limit, so at 150 seconds, I was getting a little worried. I started messing around more with the buttons. And let's see when I figure this out. Okay, see, I'm still drifting to turn around, and it's like so slow. Both of us were doing this, and I was clearly losing. It wasn't going well. And so I start pressing more buttons. I'm like, I gotta find some special move. There has to be something. This is terrible. And I tapped both drift buttons at the same time, and I discovered this like about face move, and you just insta turn around, and that was crazy. Because I know that Yegog did not figure this out, and this changed things because look how slow their boat turns around compared to mine now. Like, I'm in a proper chase, and the health bar differential is changing a lot. And I definitely wasn't going to say how to do that because it's the final match, best of 3. I was like, I'm keeping this to myself. Even if you screen peek, you got to figure out how to do it. Screen peeking is a very valid strat, by the way. It's classic local multiplayer. Like, it's part of the experience, you know? Yeah, I started getting some direct hits, and it was pretty much over from there once I discovered the about face move. I think that's what that maneuver is called, right? I feel like I've seen that in another game. And, yeah, I won. Barely got through. And that was so close. I was very worried that was the end. Thankfully, it was not. Alright, so I moved on. I believe this would be the top 6 now. It's kind of weird since it's double elimination. People don't get eliminated so quickly. I was against Underscore. And Devil Dice is what we rolled. I actually had heard of this, and I was quite worried. So, Devil Dice is a puzzle game. And if there's one thing I get frustrated by and I'm just not the best at, it's puzzles. And not just puzzles, this is like visualizing a cube and being able to manipulate it. Like, so basically, neither of us knew what the heck was going on. We'd never played this. But I think now I understand. You need to get like groups of die together. So like you need 2 2s, 3 3s, 4 4s. And in the top right, you can see if you do make those, you collect them. And the first to get 4 unique ones wins. And so, my God, I was struggling. I was just kind of running around randomly. I did figure out how the game worked, but I just can't manipulate this. Like, stuff like solving a Rubik's Cube, you know, like, visualizing in 3D. I know there's algorithms for Rubik's Cube, but you know what I mean. Like, visualizing in your head in 3D space, like, okay, I need to move the cube over this much and get a 5 being the up face. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. And you can like steal these from each other. You can see there. I'm player 2. And so you can see there I stole the 2. Actually, it looks like I needed 3 2s, but yeah, I stole the 2 from him. And it just goes for either 5 minutes or until somebody gets 4 to themselves. And yeah, it was going back and forth. Like, it honestly seems like a cool game. I wonder how if they have like puzzle modes, you know, like solve this in the least amount of moves type thing. I feel like that could be cool. But yeah, I don't think either of us were great at this game, but it was pretty clear that he was better than me at it. And there it is. So once you get 4, and actually look how close this was. Like, I like brought in the block he needed. That's so sad. I wonder if he knew that was going to happen, because I probably didn't. And so that's round 1, best of 3. But it didn't really get any better, you know. You can see I was trying. I knew how the game worked. Ugh. I didn't get a single puzzle game in the entire mystery tournament last year. And I knew that if I did get one, I gotta hope they're as bad as I am at them, or else I'm in trouble. It's a pretty cool game, like, definitely unique. And I actually got pretty close to winning, it seems. I didn't realize this. I was 1 away. Oh, it's so hard, especially when you're under pressure. And if you're losing, like... But yeah, underscore knocked me out. I got... I guess you'd call it top 6, like either 5th or 6th place. I'm happy with how I did. Like, I definitely didn't get knocked out quick, and I had some very tough opponents going in. PMC Trilogy in the second match, that was crazy, and then Joester, one of the organizers who's very familiar with the PS1. Forgot to mention this, the person who won was somebody named Alimra. I don't know if I'm mispronouncing that. I apologize if I am, but they didn't lose a single match the entire time. Won every single match. Very well done. But yeah, just wanted to talk about it. It's always fun doing these tournaments. The mystery tournament's a lot of fun. They only do it at AGDQ. They don't do it at SGDQ. And I will definitely enter again. It's a lot of fun. I love this. I just play weird, obscure games that usually aren't that good. Sometimes you get a good one. But yeah, should have an N64 video next week for you all. And that's all I got. Thank you for watching.